Hey guys, Chris Andersen here from the 3-Gun Nation Pro Series with another Rainier Arms 3-Gun Pro Tip. A few weeks ago I put out a video with one of my favorite training drills that I do here in my training center in the off-season using Airsoft, and I immediately got inundated with questions from all over the internet asking about my equipment. What I use, where I got it, how much it costs. So I thought I'd put together a video detailing some of my gear so that if you're considering starting this sort of routine, it will hopefully get you headed in the right direction. The benefits of Airsoft are undeniable, but getting into it for training can be a little intimidating at first. There are tons of options out there, everything on the internet looks the same, and there's not a lot of good information from credible sources on gear for the game that we're playing. Jump on a forum for Airsoft advice and you might be getting it from a 13-year-old kid. Now, I spent several years using, breaking, and proving this stuff, so I figured I'd give you a little insight into what I've learned and what I use to get you a bit of a head start. In competition, I shoot this custom 9mm 2011, so my choice in an Airsoft pistol needs to be something that mirrors this gun as closely as possible. The one I choose is this one, the Tokyo Marui 5.1. It has all the same controls and a very similar weight and feel to my competition gun, and I would say that this gun is the standard for practice pistols in our game. How closely it mirrors my regular gun means I can use my same competition holster. It has a gas blowback system, which means it runs off of propane, and that means lots of recoil, which is what you want so you can more closely simulate live fire. The other thing I like about it is the fact that this pistol has a plastic slide, which may seem counterintuitive if you've looked at these guns online. There are several out there that look just like this one that have metal slides, but the plastic slide to me cycles visibly faster, which I think more closely again simulates live fire, which is exactly what you want. This pistol is available online from several retailers for in the neighborhood of $175 to $200. If you shoot a polymer pistol and you want something to simulate that, KWA has a very good clone of a Glock that's a gas blowback system as well. That would be a very good option for you. My practice rifle is this KWA M4 gas blowback gun. The great things about Airsoft AR-15s is that they're just like real AR-15s in that you have a lot of bolt-on options available, and that'll allow you to build something that very closely mirrors your competitive rifle. In my case, I've attached a free float handguard from a real AR-15. In fact, you'll find a lot of parts with a little bit of modification will cross straight over to these guns, and some with no modification whatsoever. I've attached a Magpul stock and an ergo grip just like I run on my Rainier rifle in the Pro Series. For my optic, I have one of my actual scopes and mounts from a practice rifle to keep things as close as possible to the real thing. Cost on these varies. Obviously the sky can be the limit with the accessories, but the base M4 rifle runs about $300 to $375 depending on the retailer. So the magazines on both the gas blowback rifle and pistol work essentially the same way. You use a nozzle that attaches to a propane canister or green gas canister to inject gas into the bottom of the magazine. The pressurized gas then makes the gun function. You'll find you get about 2 magazines worth of ammo out of a single charge with these guns, which is about 60 rounds. One very important thing to remember about these guns is while they're not real firearms, they're certainly not toys either, which means you want to always make sure to take adequate safety precautions in the way of eye protection and adequate backstops to stop the pellets. These things are coming at close to 300 feet per second, which means you can damage your house, your car, your eyes, you name it, so be careful. Here in my practice center I use tarps I have hanging on cables kind of like a shower curtain as a backstop, but you'll find that most fabrics will stop the pellets as long as they have been hung away from the wall so they have room to absorb the pellets' energy. For targets, I typically use a mix of reactive steel targets and scaled paper targets depending on the drill I'm doing. The steel targets are pretty commonly available for reasonable prices from a lot of the Airsoft online retailers, and the scaled paper targets can actually be purchased at a lot of the same competition shooting outlets you purchase your normal sized pistol targets for regular practice. My advice on this would be to not spend a lot of money on these things though, because one of the nice things about Airsoft is it is grassroots in nature and we're not shooting real bullets. So feel free to make your own targets, cut out your own cardboard, save money whenever possible. So the best thing about Airsoft for training in my opinion versus dry fire is that the targets are reactive. Things are happening when you practice, and I think that keeps it interesting and a lot more fun. That fun makes it easier for you to stay committed and to keep practicing, which is the most important thing. I can tell you that the principal tool that I used in the achievement of the rank of Grandmaster in Action Pistol is this one right here. So get your airsoft set up and get to it. I doubt you'll regret it, and I hope this info helps. I'll keep the Rainier Arms practice drills coming all season, including a bunch more airsoft drills. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.